Why, hello everyone, and welcome back to the Anime Club. I'm Nick Knack. With me is the great Lord Horn.
Hello, everybody.
Realm Shifter.
Woohoo.
And Saki.
Hi.
This week we watched Kaiju No.8.
This was a fantastic shonen anime.
Respectfully, if Nick Knack respects my wishes, you all will see what I felt about this going by the thumbnail, because I have requested a particular image for the thumbnail.
Oh boy.
We'll see if I remember when we get around to making the thumbnail.
I will remind you when we get around to making the thumbnail.
I was going to say, you'll have to remember that too, but then I remembered you edit these damn episodes, so you will.
Yeah.
I will say, best show to watch while doing mechanical engineering homework. All the destruction.
Honestly, this is one of those shows, at least for me personally, I was glad I actually binged it. I was worried that this was... I wouldn't say I was worried. I just kind of thought that going into this, that this was going to be like a relatively, average kind of shonen. But I was actually, set beside myself when this show, blew past my expectations. And, the animation fight scenes... And also, the character development and everything. I liked it quite a bit, honestly.
I'm actually kind of right there with you. 2 weeks ago, I started watching this. It's I'll watch a few episodes, and I'll watch them over the course of the next couple weeks, right in time for recording. I ended up watching all of them at the same time, and I was up till 2 a.m. on a work night. So, needless to say, I really, really like this show. I think there's a few interesting things I'll probably bring up in a bit later, but I'll save that. I'll save those thoughts.
Yeah.
How about you, Seki?
When I started watching it, I was kind of like, oh, a monster battler where just military squads battle monsters, right? Whatever. Not my thing. I don't like them. And I've seen too many. I have no interest. And then it was Monster Gut Cleanup Crew, and I was like, oh. This is funny. This is fucking hilarious. I love watching these idiots clean up monster guts. This is great.
This guy is cleaning intestines.
Yeah, fucking fantastic, right? And then that wasn't what happened.
Yeah.
And it was still a good show. But this isn't in any way really up my alley. It's just not.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a huge fan of stuff like this. You know I'm not. So, it was good, but, I kind of wish it had just been cleaning up after monsters the entire time, because I think that would have been very funny.
Honestly, even, because I was also in that same boat, I was oh, monster battlers, and then, oh, cleanup crew. I wasn't gonna be, super disappointed if this was just all about, them cleaning up dead kaiju.
Yeah, I'm not mad about it. I liked that he transformed into the kaiju himself and then was, fighting on their side. I thought that was really great, and the animation and everything didn't leave anything to be desired, Mm-hmm. I like the OP, I like the ED. I have really good thoughts about sort of the animation itself. It's just...
I was fucking dying when I saw the who did the songs for both the opening ED. So the ED was a song done by One Republic, and then the opening was from Youngblood, and I'm like, excuse me, what?
They were remixed.
Well-known Japanese anime opening.
Yeah, they were remixed, and they were great, and I loved them.
No, don't get me wrong, they were fantastic. I was just beside myself. I'm sorry. They got a remix for these songs?
Yep. I almost thought I was hearing things when I first heard the opening.
I was wow, these Japanese singers are really good. Who did One Republic?
on the topic of production, really quick, before we squidge into the story itself. So this is Production IG. We've seen plenty of stuff by Production IG. I don't feel any need to go over it. But I do want to talk about the director, the writer, and the person who did the music. So the director is the same person who did Blood Lad, which is an anime I know, and boy, is it different.
Yes.
Absolutely wild difference between the two. The writer, interestingly enough, did a lot of stuff that you guys would know, like Code Geass, Lelouch of the Rebellion, is the same writer. Eureka 7.
Mm-hmm.
I
think that was
the mangaka that did the...
No, the writer for
the
anime.
for the anime, the script writer.
No, the writer for the anime, the script writer. Yeah. let's see, Mobile Suit Gundam, Spy Family Season 2.
Okay.
Some other stuff. And then the dude who did the music for this show also did the music for Yuri on Ice.
Huh. Oh. Yowie on Fire.
Just so you know, the screenshot that I have requested Dick Neck use for the thumbnails is in fact the one of our friendly kaiju friend trying to pee.
I was dying on that second episode.
I appreciate that the joke was made the once.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
did not become something that was repeated
Yeah, you
constantly for comedy. Because it was a moment where I genuinely looked at it and thought to myself, what have I gotten myself into? What am I watching?
Yeah. I like, honestly, like that moment, at least in the episode, like I'm glad, like the comedy is actually pretty good in this show.
Yeah, like this is definitely not indicative of sort of the quality of comedy.
Right.
It was just the funny to have the one
Yeah.
what the fuck is going on scene.
Right.
Yeah.
I was like, oh no, is this going to become like a really unhinged like
Who
comedy
will marry
show?
me now?
I thought it was going to go very unhinged when I saw that because like he ate a fucking bird.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like the gags are actually, at least for the comedy aspect of this show, like they mix it up pretty good, honestly, I'd say.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not mad at it. It's not my type of show, but I'm not mad at it.
Yeah.
I'll say, I actually really liked our main character this time. I don't usually like a lot of shonen main characters. I really liked him though because I don't know. There's something relatable about a character who like had a goal in his life
And is now too old?
and is now too old and didn't pull off that goal in his life.
Yeah.
He's not even that old. He's 32.
That's freaking ancient.
He's a boomer, honestly, for all it's worth.
It's not that old.
He's a boomer.
Remember how close we are to that, though.
Yeah.
I know, right? We're
But-
close.
For the comfort here, that's ancient in terms of sports years. And I imagine military fighting is a little bit closer to sports years compared to everyone else years.
Yeah.
I mean,
it is for, in a way, it is for the people who sort of enlist just to do like an enlistment or to like fulfill like mandatory service, but like for career professionals.
Like if you end up a general, yeah, you'll be there a while. But
Yeah, but like for career professionals, you're typically like fighting fit up until your 40s to 50s.
Yeah.
And even then you
Yeah.
can still be passing the checks pretty easily.
Right, especially if you
it's-
keep up your...
It's really only ancient if you're sort of gauging by the fact that a lot of people sign up when they're very young just to do something for a couple of years, get some money out of it, and fulfill an obligation and then leave.
well, I have to imagine it's different if you're a frontline fighter. It's different than if you're a seasoned and up the ranks.
Even frontline fighters,
Yeah.
a lot of people go back for multiple tours.
Yeah.
A lot of
Yeah.
people are actively on the front line until,
I don't know. I just see stuff like this, and I'm thinking it has to be like sports where it will break your body down if
Well,
you do
yeah.
it long enough or if you're
Well,
not
yeah.
prepared for it.
yeah, but everything will if you're not careful.
This is like a very senior infantryman age, though. Like he's just getting into like the
But he's not
starting.
applying for infantryman. He's applying
Right.
for like specialized task force. That's
Right.
kind of
Yeah.
different.
But the thing is, as well, with
I'm
this...
just saying, he's not that old.
Okay, but anyways, but the thing is as well with like how the mechanics work, so they have these like specialized suits that kind of give them like pseudo kaiju abilities, like they enhance like speed and strength and everything. But it's dependent on how well you would adapt to the suit, essentially.
Mhm.
And unfortunately for our main character, he starts out at 0%. Now,
That's okay. He's got other stuff going for him.
He does. Like, he's at least a good team player.
That was not what I was suggesting.
Nah, his
What
best
were you
quality is that
suggest-
he's funny.
What were you suggesting then, Seki?
That he just so happens to have a little friendly helper that sometimes makes him look a little monstrous.
You know what? That's fair. You know, yeah, that's fair
Yeah.
enough. But yeah, he does. I mean, I was kind of wondering about that aspect of the show. I was wondering if maybe somehow like his like inner like the kaiju monster that he holds within him was somehow preventing him from like
Probably.
adapting to the suit, because I mean he already literally is a kaiju.
I mean, yeah, like that would make sense. And I mean, keep in mind, in the second episode, he did quite literally make it rain blood.
Yeah, and at least in terms of like if we go to like power scaling within the show, he has shown on numerous occasions when he's like going all out to be a fortitude 9.8 kaiju, like a daikaiju within the show.
Yeah, like,
he's not lacking in power department. It's just
I probably would agree with. Right, I think that's a really good theory because he also starts to raise in percentage as he stops having as much trouble
controlling the kaiju.
Yeah.
Wasn't also the suit made out of kaiju byproducts?
Yes. Yep. Yeah. And then another just like kind of like interesting like bit is that for like those daikaiju and everything that these teams have taken down, they try their best to make weapons out of them, but we at the end of the series we kind of get the hint that these experiments in making weapons out of these daikaiju weren't always successful. So that's why they elected to keep him alive in the way that, or at least the general elected to keep him alive in the way that he did.
I'm gonna be entirely honest. I know that you keep saying Dai Kaiju, and for some reason I'm just hearing Diet Kaiju.
Diet Kaiju.
Every time, and I'm like, crack open a cold one with the boys.
Yes.
Diet Kaiju.
Yes, exactly. You Seki, you just low-key have that Diet Dr. Pepper on your brain right now. That's literally all that's going on here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, you may as well crack open that second one. Get a nice crisp one for the for the people listening. Nice and crisp.
You're going to have to listen to that again.
I know, I have to listen to it almost every episode.
She does that all the time.
Yeah, it's kind of a constant.
Yes.
Yeah.
One of these days I'll put together an edit reel of every single time I've done it on podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but also, like, they did say, like, the power efficiency when they make it into a weapon is not, like, the best if they actually had the real thing.
Right.
Well.
Yeah, it's pretty shit.
So,
Yeah, so that's the other thing. Like, because obviously we get that even, like, between our main character and the general dude at the end there.
It reminded me a little bit of sort of like a different approach to Area 88.
Mm.
Because that's definitely not
86, sorry. 86. Not Area 88.
Okay.
86. Fuck.
Yeah.
I mean,
My soul. We watched those fucking stop numbering shows, people. Especially with 8s specifically. I'm getting confused.
Kaiju number 8, Area 88,
it reminded
86.
Not in the like, this is a 1-to-1 copy of
Right.
86, because it's not at all. But in some ways, it did remind me of 86.
I can kind of see it. I definitely have 2 different parallels that I saw here, and I can almost guarantee you they were inspirations.
Mm-hmm.
The first one I have, I'm just gonna, because I think we'll have the least to say about it, is Attack on Titan.
Yeah, I saw people commenting about that because I was reading a little bit about the show, and people were they were like, they pulled an Attack on Titan, and like,
military force goes after these big guys
to some extent, but that's
one guy turns into to them as well.
I mean, I kind of see where you're coming from, but to me that just feels a little bit like calling it a recency bias, because there's much older stuff than Attack on Titan. That Attack on Titan was heavily inspired by. Yeah. And so,
I know there's a genealogy here, but it feels pretty inevitable. This was, especially because they're both running the same magazine, this probably was influenced by the success of Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
I don't know that the same story comes out if Attack on Titan doesn't.
I don't know if I agree with that, and maybe that's based on the fact that I do know how popular some of the older versions of stuff like this were, but maybe that's just me. I don't know if I agree that this is as popular as it is because of Attack on Titan.
Not as popular as it is. I just think that it feels like some of these ideas are like we're getting into generational ideas here the same way Shonen has always kind of moved forward, like the way you can see Naruto and My Hero Academia and Seki's making faces here, and I feel like she's missing the point of what I'm saying.
No, keep going.
The other little generational parallel I wanted to bring up is actually My Hero Academia, because this has a lot of like similar story beats to My Hero Academia.
Yeah, I can see it honestly.
Yeah.
I honestly see its story overall, like with its character development, being more similar to My Hero than
Yeah, the story is definitely closer to My Hero.
because like as far as like story goes, like this and Attack on Titan like are pretty far from each other as far as like story and character development.
Mhm.
Because it's clear, like at least within the universe, that the humanity has actually been pretty successful insofar as like combating the kaijus, whereas humanity never really gets around the Titans in Attack on Titan.
No.
But the whole point of Attack on Titan is more so to convey its themes than to just be like a monster, like kind of like battler, where you kind of get that more almost like how do I call it, like Dragon Ball Z kind of power scaling esque show where you're just kind of upping the ante, seeing how difficult a battle can get almost.
Yeah, I think this is like story wise, this is definitely far closer to My Hero than it is Attack on Titan. But I do feel like this is like if My Hero and Attack on Titan had a weird deformed baby.
Yeah.
I will say that I feel this is closer to Pacific Rim, the first movie, than either of those two anime.
Fun fact: the author's explicit inspirations are Pacific Rim, Shin Godzilla, and Ultraman and Ultra 7.
I mean,
from the 1960s.
I mean, those
to
are the big
1990s.
like kaiju like stories.
I know, but
Yeah.
those are his that's what he's basing this off of.
it makes
It makes
Yeah.
sense. It's
Yeah.
those are the kaiju stories.
Okay, all
Well,
right.
Pacific Rim is like the more Americanized new
Yeah.
version.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or in that, yes.
I really don't appreciate like you like really getting all like look, it's like I'm hurting you by making these connections, and you're getting very like
Well, no, I'm just saying I don't necessarily agree. I think that the connections you're making are entirely fueled by the fact that you're looking at like just one generation of manga. And it feels a little bit like you're disregarding all of the older stuff.
I'm not, but the older stuff builds onto this stuff, and obviously this is a kaiju show. It's going to have other inspirations, like more explicitly about the kaiju parts.
All right.
like the fact that we even go as far as getting into quote unquote kaiju anatomy in this show is
Yeah.
far deeper than most shows about kaiju get, honestly. Yeah.
But the kaiju anatomy is funny.
No, it's funny.
Yeah.
I love watching. I can rewatch that scene of him cutting up intestines all day long.
And gagging.
Yeah, and
And
gagging.
trying to vomit.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah,
I
it was
think
that.
like the
that was hilarious.
Godzilla anime actually did do that. Like the movie one.
The
Hmm.
recent one
Yeah, the recent one.
was the. Oh, I remember. Yeah, because
Yeah.
you put the recent one in that.
The anime trilogy.
Yeah.
The Genrobuchi trilogy.
Yeah, that's the Godzilla movies we're talking about.
Yeah.
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 Also, it's kind of interesting, like the concept, at least with the morphing like humanoid kaijus that we get. Like kaiju number 9 is what he comes to be called. And then we also get like the dragon kaiju guy, kind of towards the end of the series, and it seems like there was another one within in the same room as that one mushroom kaiju. I don't really know though, because we didn't really get to see much of them.
I just had the most unhinged thought. It's definitely incorrect in every way imaginable.
Oh my.
Solo leveling? That's what I said. Incorrect in every way imaginable.
Yes, if you consider the long-term dungeon
No,
one, I
yeah,
would say
no, because
that arc.
I was just thinking like we didn't get much about it, but I would have been more interested if we. I think I was curious about like the long-term implications for the world with the appearance of the kaijus like this, and sort of the gradual increase in their number and the decrease in like people who are like wanting and capable to fight them, because obviously
Yeah.
there is a decrease, or they wouldn't be upping the age of who's allowed to participate. Like obviously they're having some staffing issues. So sort of in the I was just thinking about like the long term, like in my head, and then I was like, oh, like solo leveling, which is definitely an incorrect comparison, but it was funny that it came to my mind.
Yes.
Yeah, they might bring it up later if they decide to do season 2. Who knows?
That's what I'm wondering if they will.
I
Because like I know this was popular when it came out. Like,
Well,
people
I mean,
liked this.
I actually looked that up because I was like,
Yeah.
oh, please let there be a season. It's only because this is a rather recently made anime. I think this only came out in like April of this year, roughly. Yeah.
Was it April?
Yeah.
You're right. This is brand new.
Yeah, this is like a brand new show.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, it says like still present like on Wikipedia. Obviously, this season's
Well, and
over.
to be fair, the manga's only at 13 volumes so
Yeah.
far
Mm.
and ongoing.
Yeah, and
So
this
it
manga,
is manga original.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
this manga has only been going on for like 4 years now. Well, it
Yeah.
started during COVID.
Yeah, 2020 July.
Yeah.
That's fair.
So there's definitely still like room for them to make a season 2, and they probably will, especially if this did like really well. Because like I would think that the kaiju genre is still like reasonably popular in Japan, but
I don't think the kaiju genre has ever gone out of popularity in
Yeah.
Japan.
Yeah.
I don't think it's possible
Right.
for kaiju to become
Right.
Do you think so, Nick?
Yeah.
Like the technical view, I don't think it's possible.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean,
It's-
especially I'm sure because a lot of like older people remember those old kaiju movies, so it's a bit of like nostalgia for them, I think, in a way.
I think it also helps that in all of the different kaiju movies, like especially because when you think about the kaiju movies, obviously you think of Godzilla, but all the different Godzilla reboots have all brought something different to the Godzilla franchise. Like it hasn't just been remaking the same movies again and again and again.
Right. It's actually it's actually kind of developing like Godzilla and it's like kaiju.
In
Like,
different ways.
it's
yeah.
it's kaiju lore for a lack of a better word.
Mhm.
So, I guess just like, do we have any other comments on like characters and anything? Like any characters stood out to anyone?
I actually like his friend, the white haired dude.
Oh yeah, yeah, he's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Any bias because Itsumi was a white-haired boy as well from the last show.
Look, if we're gonna ask if I have bias based on characters having white and silver hair, I've got one word for you. Legolas. But no, I do just think that Itsuomi is like he's a good friend.
Yeah. Or well, I mean that's not this character.
Sorry. I just called him Itsuomi. No, but white haired dude. He's just genuine. Like he's a good guy. You know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the first 2 episodes, you can tell that he's genuinely a good guy. You know.
Yeah.
Like he blusters a little bit about it. You know, he's got to pretend like he's all manly.
Right.
You know, and wouldn't help a friend in need.
But he's actually a good dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also like. You can tell even more by the end of the second episode and the start of the third. Like, if he wasn't a good guy, he would have, like, distanced himself, you know? And he didn't.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd say, like, honestly, my favorite character for this was the second in command, the vice captain, the guy with the bowl cut and everything. He thought our main character was such a goofball, so he just like got him on his team, and he's just like, yeah. You're really funny. You really break things up. Like I liked his character. He was pretty cool. Yeah.
Valid.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Nick?
I mean, I've got a waifu pick, but I don't think we're at waifu wars. So
No, but what about this made you binge it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, I thought it was I like the main character a lot. Like that's it was his version of the shonen character arc being from a more like business aged perspective. I found that I just found that very compelling.
Yeah, that's good.
For me, it was more of like the action scenes, how they colored them. It was very much One Punch Man-esque right there on like how they actually handled it right there.
I haven't actually watched all of One Punch Man yet.
I can see what you're talking about, like especially in like the scenes where he's in his kaiju form and he's like winding up his like big punch attacks or whatever.
Yeah.
And like Saitama, like sometimes you get like similar scenes like that with Saitama where he's just winding up a punch. You don't maybe necessarily get like all the like electrical sparkles that you've got here in this
Sometimes
show,
you
but
do.
sometimes
With like Genos, you actually
I feel
do.
like the
Yeah,
only
you
time
did get
I've
that.
seen like every time I see Saitama do something, I just see him go like,
I mean,
and then the world is destroyed.
yeah,
You know?
I mean that's
Yeah.
usually what he does,
Okay.
but also like
Maybe I just haven't watched
Yeah.
enough One Punch Man.
Eventually,
Yeah.
the story doesn't just have it be like that, or it does. It's the story is eventually more than just a gag series where Saitama pokes something and it dies.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Actually, speaking of like the overly strong character, I liked how when he first got his kaiju transformation and he goes to like check up on the old man and he just like casually sets his hand on the door and it just fucking crumbles to dust. he's just like beside himself with, oh shit. And then he goes to open the window and he just rips open the whole fucking window. That was good. Yeah.
Ooh. What do you guys think of like the chiefs when they were talking about, oh, we heard other countries were also experimenting with bonding normal human tissue with kaiju tissue?
I mean, that sounds like just a random like say it and forget it kind of plot point to me, honestly. Like they say it and then they literally don't usually go anywhere with it. Sometimes they do. Maybe they will. I don't know.
It felt like Tony Stark asking about Phase 2
Yeah, honestly.
in the first Avengers movie.
It could go somewhere eventually, but we don't know at this point.
Yeah.
I feel like it will.
I mean, honestly, I was considering getting ready to read the manga after this one. I just wanted more after this was over. So I want to see, honestly, how well, like, the action translates into the manga. Like, if they have, like, really good, like, panels and everything with the art and whatnot. I just kind of want to see, like, how that is. I mean, because obviously this did well enough for its anime, so I want to see, like, if its manga drawing is also kind of, like, up to a similar level.
Well, before you go reading the rest of the manga, I feel like we got to go back and read Kaiju number 1 through 7.
That's pretty true. Yeah, that's pretty true.
See, you say that, but there is a spin-off called Kaiju number 8 Relax.
Amazing.
I think I would be more interested in reading the manga of this if I knew that it was going to give me some of that sort of larger picture knowledge, like about the world and sort of like the situation that humanity is facing and like what the actual...
I feel like it has to, because like we
we
don't
don't
get a
get
lot
into
of
the show.
information on why there are kaiju popping out of nowhere.
Right,
And
but
obviously this is odd and
it's
different.
Also been there long enough that they know the rules of how these kaiju work.
right, but also it seems like there have been long lines of like kaiju slaying families, like how we get with my favorite characters, like family line. They were primarily swordsmen who slayed kaiju, actually.
But there's got to be something going on here for stuff like Kaiju number 9. That character for a character like that to exist, we have to learn more about what's going on.
Right, exactly. But also we've like maybe, who knows, maybe they're like failed experiments at like the human like transmutation and tissue transplant with kaiju flesh. They could be something like that. We don't know really. But yeah, definitely, like, I'm looking forward to when they finally get around to making the second season for this. This is really good. I just really hope they keep it up and they don't drop the ball with the second season.
What happens if like they're like Parasite, like the actual Parasite like anime?
Well, I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense because we see like in the scene in the first like episode where he gets transformed into the kaiju. There's just this giant like floating like gross bug. It's just like, oh, I found you. And then he's just swallowing the giant bug, and then he just becomes a kaiju. What? Yeah. So I mean, it could be like a Parasite type situation. Because we get a little bit more like on that thing, like in the last episode when he kind of loses it and he loses himself.
Yeah.
When he's fighting the general dude. Although how much of that was brought on by him not taking the fight seriously is kind of unknown, and him acting on instinct, his kaiju self just kind of fighting to preserve his own life kind of situation. I mean, do we want to just do proper waifu wars?
Okay.
About it, though.
Okay, I don't know anything about Parasite.
I thought we watched it for this.
No, we haven't watched it.
Not yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've seen it, but it was like a long time ago. Anyways, so actual waifu wars now.
No, I got a question for Nick.
Okay.
I can't get it out. What about this reminds you of Naruto?
No, I didn't say Naruto reminds me. I think what I said is that there's a lineage of shonen, like you could see how each shonen like inspired another aspect of another. like Sasuke retrieval Bakugo in the hideout.
My
right?
brain heard. This reminds me of Naruto.
I was
confused.
He was comparing more My Hero Academia to like
Okay, we'll
Naruto.
tackle that on a different episode.
Yeah.
I'll ask for that explanation separately.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, so there you go. There your question answered. Now we can do waifu wars.
Sure.
All right.
Yeah.
Waifu wars.
Waifu wars. Waifu wars.
Okay. So I mean, I already picked my favorite like character just was bullheaded guy. I can't remember his freaking name for the life
Vice
of me.
Captain.
Yeah,
Or-
Vice Captain. Yeah, that's my waifu. He's funny honestly, but also pretty cool because it was cool getting him to see him fighting our main character. That was pretty cool.
Knick-knack.
I'm gonna go Mina. I actually really like her dynamic with the main character and how she retains that stoic like expression with him throughout most series, and the little cracks in that, and then like that final, like when they actually have to talk when they're bringing him in. Oh, I love it. And she has a pet tiger.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Categorically, I think we can all agree that the pet tiger is the best character in the entire show. Point
Yeah.
blank. Kitty
Because big cat, little cat, it doesn't matter. It's still a cat.
is cat.
It's cat.
Is Happy Cat.
Yes.
My favorite character is Kafka,
You know
but
what?
as a kaiju.
Fair enough. You know what? Fair and valid.
Actually,
She
no.
didn't have
Sorry.
eyes.
Not specifically as a kaiju, but when he's like having trouble getting rid of all the bits of kaiju, like when he's got like the mouth still out or something, or he's got
Right.
like his hands are still kaiju,
Right.
and he's just like, what the fuck?
He's pissing out of his nipples.
No, excluding that part,
Yeah,
excluding that. I want nothing to do with that. That is, nope.
That was a bizarre gag, but honestly, it was good that they only did it one time.
That would not have been funny if they had done it more than once. I think after the first time.
Yeah.
My waifu is that dragon fight. Oh, Chef Kiss. So good.
You know what? Valid.
That's
That dragon fight was epic.
I feel like in
honestly.
any show with kaijus, you can just pick one of the fights
Yeah.
to be like your best thing, and it could be great.
Mhm.
That's the entire point of a kaiju.
yeah.
I mean, we got to see Blood Rain. So.
Yeah, I know.
Mm.
That was always really cool to see. Just get a fucking kaiju eviscerated, and then just they rain blood all in the streets.
So messy.
Yeah, so messy.
Yeah.
The
Don't want to
pollution.
clean. Just think of cleaning all that.
I mean, that's what
Oh.
I mean. We get to see a little bit of that with the cleaning
Poor
crews.
Kafka doing that for years. Ugh.
Did that for most of his life because he couldn't get into the actual association.
I love how he's like, haha, you have to do intestines. Wait, why do I have to do intestines? Because you're good at it. Damn it! Just be bad at it.
Or just
Stop being so good at it.
or just refuse to do it. You know.
Well, I mean, work culture in Japan.
I know,
Yeah.
but still,
But yeah.
Someone has to do it.
someone will have to do it eventually.
Uh.
If it's not you, it's someone else.
Also, what are these kaiju eating? Besides people, that's making them so... No, I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
Dirt.
I don't want to know.
Muck.
I don't want to know.
Maybe fish.
I don't want to know.
I could see fish. But yeah, all right. Well,
It was a question that did not need to be answered, and I realized that as soon as I asked it.
well, okay. Well, I guess we can move on then. I know Nick had mentioned similarities between shows and shonen. But recommendations? Do we have any?
I already said mine, but Pacific Rim and also Pacific Rim the Black.
Gundam.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
This reminds me of like a Gundam show, to be honest.
More military leaning, but you did also mention it. 86. Yeah.
Honestly, I feel like I've gone. I've said my piece on My Hero, and
I think it's hilarious that not a single person has said Code Geass yet.
I don't see that at all, to be honest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Code Geass was more dealt with political turmoil and that kind of stuff. And it was. I mean, it was. Yes, it was military, sort of, but it was like rebellion almost. So.
Well, hence Lelouch of the...
I know. Hence,
Resurrection?
That's
Lelouch of the
the
resurrection.
R word? No.
No.
Anyways, yeah. I don't really have any other suggestions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but that means we get to decide who goes next.
Yeah.
Realms had his chance, which means the rest of us are gonna rock, paper, scissors.
Woohoo!
All right, if you get the same one, you both lose. Okay, so Knick-Knack's going next.
Okay.
I didn't actually think about this all the way through.
Oh, God.
Knick-Knack and that was
You were
Pull up
so
the list.
excited.
Knick-Knack was not prepared to win. No.
No, you were so excited only to realize.
I came in thinking I was gonna lose this. Okay.
All right, hold on. I need to.
We have to get you your list.
Well, we don't have to get him his list. I just need to put this into the hat.
Because this will be the order as established.
No, I've decided we're gonna rock paper scissors every time, taking out someone as we go, and then restart.
Huh.
Oh, my.
That'll be
Oh,
more
boy.
fun because then it can be
Oh, boy.
completely random.
Oh, boy.
This will be interesting.
no kidding.
So that means the next time around, I could win and go first in the next set of 4 of us.
You better win, Vorn.
All right, I'm pulling up the document.
I'm a bit too much of a wild card, so I can see why you'd want
Okay.
Vorn to win.
Well, no, you already
You're
won.
done.
I know. I'm done. Oh, so
Yeah.
I'm done for the rest of the season.
No,
No,
just
you're
done for
until
this.
Oh, okay.
until we've cycled.
Oh, okay.
until all
Right,
4 of us
so-
have gone, and then we're back to all Rochambeauing.
So the next time that we're not, the next time we're not doing a rando, only Vorn and I will rock paper
yeah.
scissors.
Okay.
And then whoever loses will have the last one. But
Yeah.
then once we've all gone,
Yeah. Then it's then
from
back-
the top,
Yep.
Yeah.
From the top.
make it drop. Okay.
Go.
Do you have? Because remember, you can also pull something from the hat.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
Okay.
Not yet.
I
I want to start with something. I haven't done this. I'm going to do the next 2 films of Garden of Sinners.
Okay. Okay.
Ooh, okay.
think those are in the hat.
Yeah, they're in the rando hat, too.
Yeah. Which movies are those?
4
and 5?
They should be 4 and 5, yeah.
Okay.
There's like 3 names. I will give
I
you
know
the exact
you will
ones.
tell us. And I mean, last we left off on Garden of Sinners, I was feeling pretty good about it. I don't know about the rest of you.
I seem to remember you dropping to a meh while they raised to a approve when we were doing the rating
That was the
systems.
other way around.
No, it was remember the last one we did was the one with the appendicitis girl,
Yeah, but I thought it
Fujino,
was the
the
other way
bridge
around.
twister.
Where's that shit? How long ago
I
did we
remember
do this?
being confused.
Couple years ago.
In
Garden
like, I
of
think the
Sinners-
During
first
movie
one.
1 and then the
Yeah.
other couple.
Then the
others.
second, third
You mean
one.
Remaining
Third.
Sense of Pain?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did drop. Yeah, but I was the only person who went up after A Study in Murder Part 1.
Yeah,
Mm.
and the other
Yeah.
2 went up in movie 3.
And
You
I
went
went down.
down.
Because A Study in Murder was good, but the other one wasn't. And I'm not going to...
I don't know. I'll take 2 up over 1 down.
You're wrong, but okay. All right.
In fairness, I actually I like A Study in Murder better, but that's
And look, we said back then when we were doing ratings, we were rating things on cumulative, and I was looking at 3 movies, of which I only enjoyed 1. That's a 30%. That's not a pass. You're lucky I gave it a meh and not a disgusting. Your 33.33% was not going to get you an improvement.
I don't know. I'm getting like Seki revisionist history whiplash over and over again here.
Maybe I'm just more predicated to view things more positively with time on my side. You know, once the trauma has faded, I look back with fondness and nostalgia.
Is that the archaeologist in you saying that?
Yeah, maybe.
Oh my goodness.
Man, there's something I need to talk to you about later. That's like I think you'd find fucking hilarious.
Oh boy. All right,
Okay.
like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you next time.
Bye guys. Try harder, everyone.